Good morning, it's today again. Welcome back to Joseph's Reserves. I'm Joseph, and I store 20% of my income in the form of rare coins and precious metals. Wow, does it feel good to say that again. I've been taking some time off to recover from a car accident, and I am just so thankful that I get today again. So let's just sit in that for a moment and thank God that we all have today once again. And of course, we can't forget Emmanuel with the first comment last video. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Everyone find Emmanuel down in the comments to start a conversation. So my car accident was actually the day before silver hit $100. I was actually in bed rest because of this accident when it hit $100. However, I was still watching the markets throughout my entire recovery, so I am still feeling the whiplash so many people are feeling from silver falling from $116 all the way down to $85 just yesterday alone. So in times like this, when I really have no idea what's going on in the market, I like to take stock of what I have. I like to remind myself how far I've actually come, take account of all of my silver, and realize that if I was to stop or slow down anytime I was unsure about the market, I would not have nearly as much as I do today. This is the power of dollar cost averaging. No matter how I feel about the market, no matter if it feels up or down, I just buy the same dollar amount every single time due to my schedule. For me, that's every week because I get paid weekly. It used to be every 2 weeks. Realistically, it's just every paycheck. So for today, I'm just going to take account of the silver that I have. Right now, I'm organizing it as pure silver on the left and unpure or junk silver on the right. I do have some slightly difficult items to count, and we'll get into the math when those come up. And during this time of recovery, I've been reading many comments about how most don't like the sped up videos of me moving around my coins. So I'm going to try to do my best to keep it at a normal speed and fill the time with some explanations about my coins. And if anyone knows me, they know that I can talk all day about this stuff, so I don't think I'm going to have an issue. As I continue to organize and before I start counting silver, let's quickly take a look at what's actually happening. Gold and silver pulled back sharply after reaching record highs. The main reason is the announcement of the new Federal Reserve head, creating a shift in expectation around the U.S. interest rates and the dollar. Traders are adjusting to this news and taking some profits. A stronger dollar makes precious metals look less attractive, and silver always moves more dramatically than gold. So this drop felt even bigger in silver than it did in gold. On the physical side, coin shops and refiners are seeing a lot of activity, and some are backed up or just acting cautiously, which widens the gap between paper prices and actual metals. That doesn't mean that demand is gone, because if you look anywhere online, everywhere is backordered. This shows that demand is actually higher than ever. What is actually being seen in those coin shops and refiners just reflects the stress that the market is seeing right now from a fast movement. Looking ahead, metals will likely consolidate for a bit, which is exactly what we would want in order for the market to regain its strength and for premiums to return. Pullbacks like this are normal after a big run-up, and exactly why sticking to a steady stacking plan matters the most. So finally getting into my silver, we're going to start with the largest quantities. This is a 10-ounce bar, and then we're going to move on to the 5-ounce items that I have. So I have these 5-ounce Scottsdale buttons. These are probably my favorite 5-ounce product that I have, other than my dragons, of course. But these buttons are just such a unique size and shape, and I love the stamp, the fact that I can actually just hold these without worrying about my fingerprints or anything getting on them, just because of the nature of them, of how they're cast and not pressed like most coins. Next up, I have my dragons, which are the exact opposite. I'm never going to want to take these out of the capsules, because as soon as I do, it could be destroying the actual coin or ruining the premium that is on these. This is a lunar year of 2012 and 2024, both 5-ounce silver from the Perth Mint in Australia. On the reverse here, you can see two different portraits of Queen Elizabeth, again, one from 2012 and the other from 2024. And my last 5-ounce product is actually another germanium mint bar, so I have the 5-ounce and the 10-ounce. I definitely do keep these in the little boxes. I'm not sure if that maintains any premium, but I like to keep any packaging that they come in just in case. So already we have 45 ounces, which honestly just blows my mind. I remember when I first started stacking, my first goal was 40 ounces because that was $1,000 worth of silver. Today, 40 ounces is significantly more. So for those of you just starting out, a $1,000 goal would look more like 10 to 12 ounces. Next up, I'm going to start with my 1-ounce products. We'll start here with the American Silver Eagles. So I do have some tubes as well as some in some capsules and graded and otherwise loose American Silver Eagles. So just stacking them all up here first, and then we'll go ahead and get a count. When it came to American Silver Eagles, my first goal was to get the full date run. So from 1986 all the way to 2024 when I started actually was 40 coins. So that was my first goal of $1,000 worth of silver in 40 ounces. That was all in American Silver Eagles and the full date run. Now, there are some American Silver Eagles that are a fewer mintage than others. However, if you're just getting the regular bullion strike, even the rarest mintage one from 1996 is extremely common. So you really shouldn't be paying any more for the year if it's just a raw minted bullion striked American Silver Eagle. So given that fact, and that you are able to choose usually the specific one you purchase when you're at a coin shop, might as well ask if they have certain years and put together a full date run if it's possible. Of course, now there are the privy marks that make it a little bit more challenging, that are a lot harder to come by, and those ones might cost you a little bit more. In 2024, there was the Star Privy. In 2025, I think there was 4 different privy marks that you can find, and I'm sure putting together all of those might cost a little bit more, as well as these proof ones. I have 2 specialty proof sets. This is the 20th anniversary in 2006, where they started the burnished American Silver Eagles, as well as the proof and reverse proof. And then over in the back, I have the 10th anniversary of the Eagles. This does include the gold, but we're not counting the gold at this time. And this is actually the lowest mintage proof eagle from 1995 with a W mint mark. This in a grade of 70 alone is worth about $16,000, but today we're just going to count it as 1 ounce of silver. So when it comes to American Silver Eagles, I have these 2 sets. I have my full date run, some American Silver Eagles in tubes. I have a few loose ones, as well as I started the date run for proof and burnished, and some graded MS70 American Silver Eagles. For the proof and burnished, I can often pick these up at a regular Eagle price if they don't have the box or the COA that typically comes with it as a full package. I imagine I'd like to buy the box and COA later to complete the set, but we'll get there when we get there. As far as the American Eagles in tubes, I have 3 full tubes, a tube of 6, and a tube that has 11. So those plus my original date run, which I keep in this Whitman book here. This is the Type 1 date run from 1986 all the way to 2021. There's 4 pages of 9 American Eagles, so that accounts for 36 ounces right here. That makes up 125 American Silver Eagles, and when I add that to my 45 ounces from the 5-ounce and 10-ounce products I have, we're already at 170 ounces of pure silver. So of course I paid a little bit of premium to have these American Silver Eagles, but I love the fact that I have these 125 ounces that will actually maintain that premium if I ever need to sell them back into the market. And already this is going to take a lot longer than I thought, so we're just going to end the video right here so we can continue on with a part 2 tomorrow. But so far we're at 170 ounces in just the 10 ounce and 5 ounce products, as well as American Eagles. Even in a time where the market feels a little bit shaky, this is a perfect example of how important it is to just remember every ounce adds up. So no matter how small, just keep stacking.